All right, let's talk Texas A&M football here for a little bit. Obviously, new head coach Mike Elko has done a very solid job with his general approach and his strategy with this program, trying to sort of right the wrongs of the Jimbo Fisher era. And a big part of that, of course, is continuing a trend of smart recruiting that Elko has done so far in his campaign as a head man in College Station. And we've got another report highlighting a big success for the Aggies on that front. Let's get into the article and we'll talk about it more in detail on the other side. This is courtesy of 24/7 Sports. Mike Elko and his staff have notched another big win on the recruiting trail. Four-star Shadow Creek cornerback Kobe Sellers announced his commitment to Texas A&M on Saturday afternoon over Texas and Oklahoma. That's obviously big. The talented defensive back also held offers from the likes of Alabama, Auburn, Florida, Georgia, LSU, Miami, Michigan, Oregon, Penn State, and several other programs. All right, so obviously Sellers was a huge big-time recruit, especially with local and national implications. The fact that Elko and company there were able to nail this kid down is a phenomenal job by his staff. Miles, I'm curious what your thoughts are, but first, Aggie fans, in the comment section below, as we're getting closer and closer to regular season, I feel like it's not that far away. It's just one summer away. Now's your chance. Early on, give us your prediction for the Aggies' final regular season record. Stake your claim now, what you think Texas A&M's final regular season record will be, and put it in the comment section below. But Miles, give me your thoughts on the addition of Sellers and just everything in general that's going on with this Aggies program right now.
Yeah, Nick, I think this is a great pickup for the Aggies. I'm going to get a little bit more into the player after my first point. My first point is being I love what Coach Elko is doing with this 2025 class. He's kind of doing exactly what Jimbo Fisher didn't do. Jimbo Fisher would go out, target like few gigantic, humongous 5-star guys, maybe all around the country, try to bring those guys in. We talk about it all the time, just gathering talent. But what does Coach Elko do? He's looking locally first. He's doing what we say a lot of smart teams do. And he's got 9 guys from the state of Texas thus far. Kobe Sellers from Pearland, Texas, being one of those guys as well. So I really think he's built a very strong recruiting foundation in this 2025 class and showing that he can recruit the state of Texas already very early as a team that is very capable of doing that as well. But getting more into Sellers himself, I think he's a really interesting prospect as well because he's a corner. And when I say, all right, he's also a two-way player in high school, everyone's like, yeah, corner, receiver, always really good when you have a guy like that. Well, that's not the case. Because this guy was a quarterback and a cornerback, a very interesting mix. I don't see that too often. And he was pretty successful playing at a very high level in Texas, the 6A uh, uh, ranking as well. I think this is a guy who did a lot of great stuff in his career and also very athletic, ran track, did a lot of good stuff for there as well, won some awards at the state level. So this guy really quick. He's got some great track speed to him. He's got the ability to see the game from the quarterback perspective and be very utilized in that aspect. But also, he was a great cornerback as well. He's got some special teams ability. So I think this guy can really bring a whole lot to the table for the Aggies. And I think this is a great pickup and just showing Coach Elko is moving this 2025 class in the right direction.
Yeah, I want to focus on what Elko and his staff is doing here. Obviously, like everything you mentioned there, Sellers is a great prospect and is going to be a great addition for the Aggies. But I want to talk about what Elko is doing. And what he's doing is he's beating Sarkeesian down in Texas, and he's beating Venables in Oklahoma and a lot of SEC powerhouses. Is he's beating their best. And here's what I mean by that. One of the big recruits, one of the named recruits, according to 24/7 Sports, from Texas recruiting Kobe Sellers is a man by the name of Terry Joseph. Terry Joseph is the cornerbacks coach for the University of Texas. He is the man that Sarkeesian put in charge of recruiting and securing none other than quarterback Arch Manning, right? So this is not, and Terry Joseph here, a average to below average recruiter. He is the best of the best. Texas, from Texas's perspective, if you're Coach Sarkeesian down in Texas, if you're the Longhorns and you're going after Arch Manning, you don't put your second best recruiter on him. You don't put your third best recruiter on him. You put your best guy. Terry Joseph is Texas's best guy when it comes to getting the big name superstar commits, the superstar recruits. That's who he is. And Mike Elko and his staff beat him out. That's a great sign, right? Because that was going to be one of the questions is how could Texas A&M continue to maintain some level of recruiting success? Elko, I think, had a good first round, but the reality is sometimes a new staff, new energy, right? You're able to kind of just ride some of that momentum. But once the dust settles and everyone understands, okay, this is Elko, this is his staff, the competition figures out where you're recruiting, how you're recruiting, things like that. Then it's all about executing and getting the job done. That was going to be a question coming out of Texas A&M, and Elko and his team has answered that, right? They've taken on the best coming out of Austin and Terry Joseph, right? And they won the recruit. That is huge, right? You talk about winning Texas is obviously going to be critical, but the fact they beat out virtually every SEC opponent, it seems like, to get this commitment here, along with some national implications as well, just speaks to that what Elko can do at Texas A&M won't be just limited to maximizing talent, right? Finding a way to be a better on-field coach than Jimbo Fisher, which I think he will, but it will also be related to the fact that A&M will continue to recruit at a high level, maybe even higher than people expected. And if you have better on-field coaching mixed with quality recruiting, folks, I mean, this is an Aggies team that can be very successful, not just in the short term, not just have a magical year every once in a while like they did with Kellen Mond during the COVID year, I believe, when they only had the one loss. We're talking about sustained success in College Station, and that's the track they're on thanks to moves like this.